and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video which is very different from other videos which I've done before. In this video, I'm not trying to be mean or offend anyone. I'm just purely addressing things which I've observed. Basically, I'm going to be talking about 10 things that Russian or foreign parents do that, for example, European or American parents don't do. As some of you guys may know, I've lived 10 years in Switzerland, and during those 10 years, I went to international school and I got to know so many kids and children from different countries from all over the world, and I also made some friends there, and that meant that I went to their houses and I got to meet their parents, and I just saw how their families and how their lives were different to mine, and I just think that this is so fascinating. So grab yourself some tea because I will be spilling some today. So I've discussed some of these points with my friends that are either from Turkey or India, and they also can relate to some of them. And I just think this is so funny that, for example, European parents and families or like American families are different from, for example, Russian, Turkish, Indian. The first thing, so this is pretty much like my life motto. And whenever I wanted to like hang out with my friends on the weekend, or we would make plans like during the week, like, oh, we should go like do that on the weekend, or like there's a party on Friday, like, are you going? This is what I lived by, and it is, if I had fun today, then I can't have fun tomorrow. I'm sure that so many of you guys have seen this meme on Instagram, but honestly, I could not relate more, because it's not that my parents are like super strict. I love my parents, they're amazing, but this is like so true. Like, I see my friends like going out on like Friday, Saturday night, and then like doing something Sunday, and I'm just like, if I really wanted to, I could ask my parents to like hang out on like Friday night and then like maybe try to go somewhere on Saturday, but like I would feel guilty myself because that is not really how you do it in Russian families. If you go somewhere with your friend, for example, let's say Friday night, or if there's a party, then on Saturday night, I have to be home. Number 2 is sleepovers. So I remember when I moved to Switzerland, that is when I got introduced to like the topic of sleepovers. Like, my sister was already 16 and she didn't even know what that was. So like when we moved, I obviously was still like very little. Well, I didn't really care about sleepovers. But then when I got to 6th grade or like 5th, 6th grade, yeah, I got a group of friends and they're all like having sleepovers, and I remember my first sleepover that I got invited to was my friend's birthday sleepover party. And I remember just like coming to my parents and being like, Mom, Dad, can I like go to like a birthday party? And they're like, yeah, sure, when is it? Like, we'll drive you home, we'll drive you there and we'll pick you up. And I was like, it's a sleepover. And they were like, oh, what? Like, it's just not known in Russia. I don't know why it's not like typical to like for like friends to sleep over at each other's houses. I just don't really understand why, like, but it's just not really a thing. Like, of course, like, people go to each other's houses, they, like, sleep over, but it's not really, like, a thing. Like, you don't just, like, go to your friend's house, like, on Friday night and, like, have a pamper session and, I don't know, like, watch a movie. Of course, like, people do it, but back then, it was just not a thing, and my parents were just like, you wanna what? You wanna sleep at the girl's house? Why would you want to do that? Like, your bed is like perfectly comfortable, like you have a nice room. Why would you want to sleep there? And I was like, I don't know, it's a sleepover. And I just had like absolutely like no reason to like sleep over. I was just like, I don't know. It's called a sleepover. Like, I don't really know what you want me to say. That's the second thing. So the third thing that I've noticed is, so you know, before you go out, you like say like, bye Mom and Dad, like love you, I'm going out now. Yeah, so you do that, but throughout the whole process, you also get judged about how you look. So what I mean by this is, for example, and I don't just mean like going out like to the mall or like shopping or like, I don't know, doing whatever, but I mean if you're going to a party and if you're wearing a crop top or like something like that, well, let me tell you, you're not gonna end up wearing a crop top. Like very bodysuited clothing and clothes or like tops which like show off your stomach or that have a very deep V-neck are not going to be in your closet until you're like 18. I know this probably sounds like a very strict rule, but like it's not even a rule, it's just like out there, like you just know that you shouldn't be wearing that, you know. And that's like probably like the reason why I don't have like crop tops and stuff in my like wardrobe, because I was just like not brought up thinking that it's okay to wear that, you know. And if I was wearing like a crop top or like, I don't know, like something very like open, my parents would be like, Lisa, I'm pretty sure that's a pajama. And then I would have to go back and change. Because you just feel uncomfortable yourself. Like, you just wouldn't wear it yourself, you know? You would just know that you would get judged like so harshly by your parents that they would think like, oh, so that's why you're going to a party. Because straight away, if you're wearing a crop top or something like that, your parents are like, so you're gonna be hooking up with boys, huh? And like, I know it sounds weird and it's like stereotypical, but that's just the way it is. And this is not only like Russian parents, you know, it happens like everywhere. It really depends on the family. So yeah, you'll always get judged by what you wear. But hey, that's just life. Thing number 4, languages. So, when you have like either a Russian or like doesn't matter what kind of family, you're most probably going to be bilingual, or you might even have like 3 mother tongues. Doesn't matter. The thing is, at least one of your parents isn't going to know English very well. And it's so funny because this is not really a problem, but it does become a problem when, for example, your friends come over or you have a group of friends and your parent like is being asked a question, or like your parents are trying to have a conversation with your friends, and sometimes it just gets so funny. Okay, I'm just gonna say like, I'm just gonna give it as an example. My mom isn't like as fluent in English as, for example, my friends are. Sometimes during conversations, my friends will ask one thing and my mom will reply to like a completely other question. There is like some kind of like language barrier. And also another thing, which actually ties in with the language barrier, is trying to teach your parents your friends' names. So, they're very typical Russian names, which my parents know, like Oля, Nastya, Masha, Katya, Dasha. Those are like very typical Russian names. But when I introduced them to my friends, I remember like when I was like in middle school, and like my friend group started to expand, and I was like trying to like teach my parents like the names like the night before my friends came over. And like when I was trying to teach my parents like my friend's name the night before, I was like, yeah, so Parina, Leonie, Marin, Doa, and Elisa are coming over, and they'll be like, Marin, what? Marin? Oh my god, the next one. Can we just, this strongly ties into my state right now. The next thing is getting sick. I think like especially Russian parents are like obsessed with getting sick. And I don't mean this in like a way that they want you to get sick. No. They just think that the littlest things will make you sick. My whole childhood, I wore a hat which like covers your neck. Like, you know those skiing like hats which like only reveal like this part of your face? Yeah, I wore that on like a daily basis. Like, your neck had to be covered from autumn until spring. Like, if it was uncovered, you're dead. You'll get in so much trouble, it's not even funny. Like, your neck, if my mom could see my neck, she'll be like, where's your scarf, missus? You're gonna get sick. Another thing is, God bless you if you went outside with wet hair. Like, oh my god, like, that, I actually thought that if you go outside with wet hair, you would die. That was just like what I thought my whole childhood, because you always hear like your parents say like, oh, you gotta dry your hair before you go out. Lisa, I see that like wet strand of hair right there. If you all go outside, you're gonna get sick right away. Another thing is that you cannot sit in your room with an air current. Like, if you sit like between an open door and an open window, I also thought that I was gonna die. Like, if we were at a restaurant, or if we were, I don't know, like at the doctor's or something, and if there was an air current, my mom would like climb over to the other side of the room, close the window, or yell at someone to close the window, being like, do you want my child to get sick? Like, that was just like one of the most like embarrassing moments like of my childhood. I just noticed that all the time that I was living in Switzerland, no one other's parents gave a crap about this. Like, children were outside without their jackets, without scarves, without like anything, and they didn't care. And then I remember, especially when I was in primary school, I would just look like at all these kids, especially when there was snow. I would look at these kids that didn't have like their jacket zipped up, that didn't have their scarf or their hat, and I would be like, number 7, girls can't be just friends with guys. Once again, this is probably like coming from like the culture, or like I don't really know. This is just like so true. So like, you know, in like Europe and America, everyone's just like, already used to like the idea that girls and guys can be just friends. Like obviously there are families that still like are not into this whole idea of like a girl and a guy being a friend. Obviously still most families wouldn't be okay with like them having a sleepover, like totally understandable. Russian families and like Middle Eastern families like go to the extreme of this like topic. Like if your parents hear like a guy's name in a conversation, or if you're just like, oh mom, like can I go like hang out with like, I don't know, Ben on like Saturday, they'll be like, Ben, is that your boyfriend? And I mean, like, obviously, like, most families would do that, but I mean, like, it goes to the extreme. Like, just, like, wherever you go, like, your parents will be like, are there going to be guys there? Or if you're texting a boy, like, your friend, and your parents see you texting a boy, they'll be like, is that your boyfriend? Like, when are we gonna meet him? Like, never, mom, that's like a best friend concept of just like being friends with a guy. Like it's just not a thing apparently. Like you either don't talk to a guy or you're married. Like there's just no in between. Thing number 8. Oh my god. Fast food. Let me tell you, I've discussed this with so many people and there is just no such thing as fast food. If you even like speak up about the idea of like having fast food, it will be shut down immediately. Like parents do not approve of fast food. Like my mom, she is an amazing cook. From a young age, I was like brought up with like good food, with healthy food. And now I'm just like used to it, you know? Like it's just normal for me to eat like a salad or something like that. Like I never had to like force myself to be like, oh, broccoli, oh, salad. Like I was just brought up with it. When I first saw like at restaurants, for example, in Switzerland, that parents just like ordered their kids nuggets and like chips, I was just like blown away. Like I just remember me and my mom like looking at it. I was like, oh my god, they just ordered their son chicken nuggets and like fries? Like what? Is it like their birthday? Like what? Because I would only be allowed that if we were like, I don't know, flying somewhere and it was like the only option at the airport. Only then would we have like Burger King or McDonald's or like something like that. Otherwise, never in my life, especially when I was younger. Now that I'm like with my friends, of course, like sometimes I go like eat McDonald's or like whatever, but like back then, oh my god, I would only see McDonald's in our house or like whatever, like once a year. I'm not even kidding. The next thing is go play outside. So I don't know about you guys, but like I know my parents were always like, go play outside. Like every single day, no matter what the weather was, I was kicked outside. Like I was not allowed to watch more than like I think one episode of like a TV series or something like that during like a school week. And I know like some other families are also really strict about it, but I was always just like being kicked outside. Like my mom would always be like, Lisa, go outside. Even if I was like just playing with toys, like I wasn't on like my Game Boy, like Nintendo, or like watching a movie. If I was even like still playing, but like I was playing inside with like my Barbies, my mom would still be like, Lisa, go outside like right now. So like every single day I would get like kicked out. And I just noticed that like so many kids, like European kids, like they didn't have like the same thing. Like if they played inside, they were totally fine. Like of course their technology would be taken away, you know, but they were never like forced to get out of the house. And little Lisa was forced to get out every single day. And the last thing is being a secretary for your parents. Now, I don't know if that's just like a Russian thing or if that's just like actually just my family. But once again, because my mom, for example, she doesn't really like use her phone a lot. And I think that's like most parents, like some parents are like really good with technology and they're like typing faster than their kids, whatever. But my mom, she is like very not into the whole like technological world. But that means that if they receive a text message, you are the one to reply to it. I know this probably like sounds like insane. It's like some of you who have like normal European parents. I'm not saying that my parents are normal, you know, but like that are exposed to like technology every single day. What I'm saying is that it's just like, it gets like really annoying because like my mom, of course she knows like what a phone is. And I'm sure she can type. But like because like my parents like think like, oh, technology is like so bad for you or like whatever. Or like because they weren't brought up with it, like my mom has the excuse like, oh, I wasn't brought up with this. Like I don't have to know like how it works, you know. So then my mom would always be like, oh, like please, like, can you like reply to like your auntie, or like can you reply to like uncle, like auntie Anya, or like whatever, or like to my like friend, she like said this and this and this, can you reply with this and this, and I'll be like, mom, like you can type yourself, like literally you type yourself like the whole day when I'm in school. And she's like, no, but like you do it so much faster. And like I've heard that excuse like so many times, like you do it so much faster, like come on, like what does it take you? It's like 2 seconds for you. Seriously, is it that hard for you? And I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that excuse, like, is it really that hard for you? Like I cook for you, I clean for you, I do all these things for you, and you can't take like 2 seconds to like reply to a text message. Of course it's not hard, like that's what I'm not saying, but sometimes you literally become your parent's secretary. Like you're replying to phone calls, like if you're ordering food, you're the one to order food. If you have to call somewhere, you're the one to call for like a taxi or something. If you're at home, you're the one to reply to the text message. And like it never happened with my dad, but with my mom, oh my god, if she sees a text message and I'm sitting with her, she'll be like, Lisa, can you quickly like reply this and this and this, say that like I'm doing great, and ask her if we can like catch coffee, like if we go for like a coffee like next Monday. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tea that I've spilled today. Of course I'm exaggerating, it's not like actual tea, it's not like actual gossip about my life, but like I don't know, I just think that's like very interesting, like how different like cultures are even in like the 21st century, like how like Russian families are different from like, I don't know, like some European or like American families. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's like very different from like what I usually do, and I hope I didn't offend anyone. I really didn't mean to. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.